Hello my friends. If you saw the title of this video and you were like, does every video that this woman makes have to be talking about Emma M. Lyon? Yes, for the first portion of this year, apparently it does. I have been loving the unselected journals of Emma M. Lyon. I am currently reading volume 7 out of currently there's 8, but more to come. And I am just loving the series. As I've talked about in many videos, we follow a young woman. She starts out at 20 in 1883. These are her journal entries, and she is telling us about her time coming to live in London, the friends she meets. What I love about Emma, first of all, it is journal entries, so it's got that epistolary feel, which I enjoy. Emma is spunky. She's like decently scandalous at times for that time period. Nothing too outrageous. When I read her stories, they're like snort-worthy. You know, like they make me not necessarily completely laugh, but she'll do things that make me snort, which does not sound very wonderful, but it's just great. I have loved it. The first couple start out really short and then they get longer. And I am just a little worried how long it's going to take for them all to come out, because I think we're supposed to be following her for 4 years. So it might be taking a while before the series is complete, but I'm loving it. And I've really realized that a lot of the vibes from this book are my vibes, are my reading vibes for the most part. So I thought I would give you a list. I think I have 10 books here that if you enjoy Emma M. Lyon, I think you'll enjoy these books, and kind of vice versa. If you have not started Emma yet, if I have not pushed you over the edge, maybe if you watch this video and you realize, oh, I do like a few of the books that I've mentioned, you should read Emma and the other books on this list. The books on here are obviously not completely the same as the unselected journals of Emma M. Lyon, but there is some key themes. All of these follow women, so that's the start. And they are all a little bit spunky like Emma. Looking at my list, they're all a little bit untraditional in some way. They've got a little bit of spunk for their time period. There's also a few epistolary novels on here. Some have the like feel of this book. I mean, they kind of all do, but some of them in certain ways that are different. So some of them are set in London, so they have that similarity. Some of them are set somewhere else, but they just have that like wholesome goodness, really fun moments, but also like an underlying heaviness that comes with Emma M. Lyon, whether it's because it's during a war or there's some kind of grief or something going on. I hope that this list helps you find a good selection of books. Next month is my birthday month, and I'm going to be doing something fun for my TBR, and that is creating a TBR based on the things I like to see in books. And if I could go back and reread all of these for the first time, that would be great, but I can't. So without further ado, let's get into the list. But if you have not started Emma M. Lyon, obviously that's like my top recommendation of this video. Now the first one is actually one that I'm currently reading, in the middle of reading. That is The Enchanted April. So I haven't finished it. I'm about a third of the way through, and I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like it has some of the vibes, hence why it's on this list. In this one we follow 4 women, although at the point where I'm at we're mostly following 2 of them, who decide to rent a villa in Italy for the month of April. And the 2 main ladies here at the beginning have different reasons for wanting to do so, and that is interesting. They have just gotten to Italy and are loving the seaside and where they are. I love the descriptions of the outdoors. I'm very curious to watch the interactions of these ladies, see where it goes. I will be jumping on with Haley for her live for this next week, so I'll have her channel linked below. You you can join us for that, but thoroughly enjoying it, and we'll only be doing the first half of the book for the live. Next up, we have Wormwood Abbey. This takes place approximately the same time as Emma M. Lyon. I don't know if it exactly says, but she's a Victorian young woman. This is a fantasy story with some dragons, so it's a little different because of that whole fantasy element, but we follow Edith, who is an atypical woman. She writes mystery novels in the Victorian era under a pen name because she's a clergyman's daughter and a woman, and she's got that spunk that Emma M. Lyon has. And so I feel like there's some similarities as far as that goes, but then also these books start really thin and get thicker, just like Emma M. Lyon. And if you get overwhelmed by big books, I mean, so far all the books that I've mentioned and even more to come on this list are quite short and quick reads, not just because they're short, but also because they're easy to read. So if you want Emma M. Lyon with some fantasy, I've got this one. I still need to finish the last 2 books in this series, which I hope to do soon. Okay, I almost didn't put this book on here because it's different, but it deserves to be on here. Emma M. Lyon has kind of bumped this lady out of my videos for the past few months, but don't worry, she's coming back. I have not forgotten about her. We've got Mrs. Paulifax. So the first book is The Unexpected Mrs. Paulifax, and she is in her 60s. So for that reason, I wasn't really thinking of her. And she joins the CIA, unexpected for her age, and she's super spunky. In this one, she goes to Mexico as a handler, and she's just so fun. She is snort-worthy as well. Like, I'm constantly chuckling and snorting as I read these books because she does and says some out of what would be a normal 60-year-old character, I feel like. And I just love her. I still have a few books to finish in this series, and I'm intentionally dragging it out because I've enjoyed them so much. And these will definitely be reread because they've been so much fun. And they are short books. Like, they're kind of mystery books, but like they're more like espionage. The idea is not to like solve the mystery. The idea is to hang out with Mrs. Paulifax as she gets into all sorts of scrapes and find some unique and creative ways to get out of them. A slightly longer book feels definitely like a cross between Emma M. Lyon and Mrs. Paulifax. We've got A Peculiar Combination by Ashley Weaver. This is kind of a mystery series, kind of more like espionage. We follow Ellie McDonald? Yeah, McDonald. And her family are locksmiths, use their locksmithing abilities to break into people's houses during World War II, and they get caught right at the beginning of book 1 and use their abilities and talents to help the British government during World War II as they try to look for spies and secrets during the war. So Ellie definitely is an atypical woman. She's being used to do some spy work and some lock picking. At the same time, she's got some underlying grief stuff. I mean, you can't write a World War II book without having some. And this is a 5-book series that has kind of an overarching mystery through it all, because Ellie's mother was convicted of killing her father, like Ellie's father, and then Ellie was born in prison, and then her mother died in prison. And her mother always said she was innocent, and Ellie's trying to get to the bottom of that throughout the books as well. Definitely recommend it. Definitely feels a lot like Emma M. Lyon. Then I have Things We Didn't Say by Amy Lynn Green. This is also a World War II novel. This one is all epistolary. It's told in letters, in a court case, in some newspaper articles. Oh dear, I need to sneeze. Hopefully it doesn't come at a bad time. So we follow this character named Johanna. She is working for a prison camp. She is a translator at a German POW camp in Minnesota. And so she's supposed to read their letters as they come and they go, make sure there's nothing that needs to be censored. And we know at the beginning that there's some kind of court case, something, she's being investigated for some reason, and it kind of unfolds as we go. I really loved this book. So far it's the only Amy Lynn Green that I've loved, but I think it has some similar vibes to Emma M. Lyon. The only thing I will say is that Joanna's character in the first like 50 pages quite bothered me. I would not compare her to Emma at that point, but she grows, and she grew on me. Of course, I had to put an L.M. Montgomery on here. No wonder I love Emma M. Lyon. Like, she has those Lucy Maud Montgomery feels, vibes for sure. And I probably could have put any one of her books on this list and it would have been totally fine, but I chose Emily of New Moon because Emily is a writer. She really is a lot like Anne. She's orphaned at the beginning of the book, and she enjoys writing, but Emily struggles a little bit more. She's a little bit darker, has a bit of a darker side, has a few more struggles than Anne's like almost constant positivity, and for that reason Emily, like, she's not as necessarily fun to read about because she's not so positive, but she's much more realistic and relatable. So this is a 3-book series and I've enjoyed all 3 of the books, kind of each one for a different reason, and I wish that they weren't as unknown compared to the Anne books. Like the Anne ones, especially like the first one, always outshine Emily, where I feel like there's a lot of good stuff in here, so please give Emily a try. Next up we have Daddy Longlegs. This is early 1900s is when it was written. 1917, I always forget. 1912. And this is epistolary. It's all told in letters. We follow a young girl named Jerusha. She goes off to college and she's writing letters to this guy named Daddy Longlegs. She has named him that because she saw his shadow as he was leaving the orphanage office, where then she was told after that he was sponsoring her to go to college, and she saw a shadow and she thought that he had long legs. So she sends him letters and draws pictures throughout the letters, where she's supposed to send him a letter once a month as part of like her being at college. And it's just hilarious to see like her sharing what's going on, her like trying to guess who he is, and the illustrations are so great. I really love this. There is a kind of like companion book as well where we follow one of Jerusha's friends. This one's definitely better in my opinion, but definitely recommend it. She's also snort-worthy, laugh out loud worthy. So much fun. Next is 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. This is actually true letters written between Helene and a guy named Frank Dole from Marks & Co. booksellers. This is right after World War II. She is trying to get a hold of a book or some books, and she's from the US, I think New York, and she writes them the bookstore in London to try to get a hold of books she can't find. And so begins, is it like a 20-year correspondence? Yes, between her and Frank, and it's so great. It's super short. It's interesting how she gets to know other people that work in this bookstore. True story, so like it's not perfect. Like, you know, if someone was writing a novel on this, there would be a few loose ends that would be tied up a little better, but like true story and true letters, and I really love it. Getting close to the end, we've got 2 left here. I needed to include some Jane Austen because Emma M. Lyon has some Jane Austen vibes. I'm not the hugest Jane Austen lover. I really enjoy some of them though, and I decided to pick my favorite one for this, and that is Persuasion. Because it's my favorite, I threw it on here, and also just because there are some big moments in here that are related to letter writing. And one of the things I forgot to mention about Emma M. Lyon, not in the first volume, but I think in all the other ones after, or most of them at least, she exchanges little notes through the wall with someone. So she is writing in her journal, but there are also some letters back and forth between other people, and then these notes she exchanges. And Persuasion involves a couple letters, at least one like very important letter. Of course, I'm totally blanking on what our main character's name is in Persuasion, which I feel like is maybe kind of bad, but Jane Austen just named everyone the same names. So now I can't remember. So I think it's Elizabeth. Is it Elizabeth? That's the name I keep seeing. It's just funny because she uses the same names all the time, so I'm always like second guessing. Or is it Anne? It's Anne, isn't it? Yeah. I keep seeing the names Elizabeth and Anne. Okay, well, hey Google. Who's the main character in Jane Austen's Persuasion? Okay, it is Anne. Thank you Google. She, years ago, before this book began, refused a marriage proposal and then has come to regret it. And we follow her as the guy that she refused comes back into her life. He was away. He's now a captain. Unfortunately, she refused it because he wasn't very rich, and now he comes back rich. So that part of it I don't love, but I really enjoy the second chance romance. In this case, it's not always a favorite of mine, but I really do enjoy it in here. It's my favorite Jane Austen, so hence why it's on this list. Although I think most Jane Austen have a little bit of similarities to Emma M. Lyon. And the last book is one that I read at the beginning of the year. It made it onto my Q1 favorites of the year so far, and that is Dear Mrs. Bird. We follow Emmeline Lake as she works for this advice columnist. She does the typing. She decides to do some things on her own. Definitely a few snortable moments. Not sure if that's really a word, but I'm making it one now. And it is set during World War II. There is some grief for a variety of different reasons in here, but overall it's pretty light, and that part really feels like Emma M. Lyon. Like Emma has some grief that just, you know, follows her, but in her daily life is very funny. So that's it. That is 10 books. If you've enjoyed any of these, I think you'll enjoy Emma M. Lyon. If you've enjoyed Emma M. Lyon, I think you'll enjoy all 10 of these. Now, the important part of this video is where I need you guys to give me some ideas of books that are similar to these, that have a main character that's a little bit feisty, a little bit snortable. Generally, these are mostly like historical. I think they actually all were. And bonus points if it can be epistolary or something, journal entries. I definitely am gonna need more vibes like this in my life as soon as I'm done volume 8, which I should be done in a couple weeks. So thanks in advance for all your ideas. If you guys want more ideas, check the comments. Hopefully there's some great ones down there. Let me know if you've started Emma, if you love her, and if you've read these, which ones you love. Thanks for joining me.